everybody, Aaron Rift here from NoDQ.com. I wanted to real quick give my thoughts on everyone's reactions to the top 25 WWE Superstars in history. Got a lot of feedback about it and definitely some controversy. So let's start off with the top pick, Hulk Hogan. I stick with my pick for Hulk Hogan as number one. When you think of professional wrestling, in my opinion, I think that most people associate it with Hulk Hogan. Since the 80s, Hulk Hogan has not only been a big part of WWE, but a pop culture icon. I mean, he's like what Babe Ruth is to baseball, or Michael Jordan to basketball. He is a pop culture icon. He was an icon of the 1980s, like Michael Jackson, like Rocky Balboa, like Mr. T. I saw some comments, some feedback that Vince McMahon could have made anybody Hulk Hogan. That's not the case. Hulk Hogan had this charisma that nobody else had, even to this day. Hulk Hogan is a guy that can come out and stand in the ring, and for 15 minutes, people will give him a standing ovation and won't stop. Tell me any other guy that they would do that for. Maybe Ric Flair, but there's very few guys that can get the kind of reaction that Hulk Hogan can get just from a facial expression, just standing there. And when Hulk Hogan left WWE in 1992, WWE business, it took a big hit. I mean, Vince McMahon tried to make a new Hulk Hogan. I mean, look at somebody like Lex Luger. It flopped. Hulk Hogan went to WCW, and he proved that during that period of time, Hulk Hogan truly was bigger than the entire wrestling industry. I mean, Hulk Hogan was at this whole other level. And there's very few people that have ever come close to that. And obviously Steve Austin and The Rock, guys like that, are close to Hogan. So that's why I picked Hogan as number one. And you could really argue either way. I mean, when you look at the numbers, Steve Austin probably was overall a bigger box office draw than Hulk Hogan. And he really did play a huge role in WWE's turnaround. So you could argue either guy for number one. Now, I wanted to mention a few honorable mentions. Obviously, there's some people that are upset about guys that I left out of the list, so I'm going to go through a few right now. Let's start with Kane. When I look back in hindsight, I think that one mistake I really made was leaving Kane off the list. Kane was a character that made a huge impact in WWE, and he had the longevity. He had the mask. He had the look. I mean, he was a big part of WWE during the Attitude Era and even to this current day. So if I had to do it again, I mean, the list is done. What's done is done. But if I had to redo the list, I would include Kane in the top 25. But for argument's sake, I'm just going to put him at number 26. I mean, he is definitely one of the all-time great WWE characters. And next up is CM Punk. Now, the reason I didn't put CM Punk on the top 25 is because I think he's just getting started. I think that in 5 years' time, if I was to do the list again or update the list, CM Punk could very well be in the top 25. I just think that it's too soon, and he still has a ways to go, and more time needs to pass. But CM Punk is definitely up there. Two classic WWE characters that I would definitely consider in my top 30. One of them being Jake the Snake Roberts, and the other one being the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. Both of those guys had a lot in common. Great characters during the 1980s. They were great wrestlers, and they were excellent promos. So both of those guys would definitely be somewhere towards the top of the top 30 or whatever. And then one more name I want to mention that a lot of people brought up is Chris Benoit. Now, even if the murders had not taken place, Chris Benoit would not be in my top 25. I mean, if this was a list of the top 25 greatest technical wrestlers of all time, Chris Benoit would be towards the top, no doubt about it. But he didn't have the charisma, and he just didn't have the character that I felt made him one of the most memorable WWE superstars in history. No doubt he was a great wrestler and had some of the greatest matches in WWE history, but when we're talking about the top superstars, you got to have the whole package. So there you have it. That's my reaction to your guys' reaction. If you want me to keep doing lists, let me know. If you want me to stop doing lists and you think I'm completely out of line, leave a comment. Let me know. And stay tuned this week for no DQ&A video. And thanks for watching.